Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another week of On the Town with Tanya. Thank you so much for taking the time and being with us. This week, we have a great guest for you. She is an American stand up comedian and actress. She has appeared on The Drew Carey Show, um, My Wife and Kids, and Ugly Betty. Surprise, surprise. She is best known for her role as Thea Armstrong-Turrell in the ABC sitcom Thea, which originally aired in the ABC sitcom Thea, sorry, which originally aired from 1993 to 1994. She is the first African American female comedian to have a television series named after her. Please welcome the lovely, talented Miss Thea Vidale. Hey.
Hey, how are you? How y'all doing? And
Hey.
is it cold in Mario, England?
Well, it's no. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody has their weather times, but I like visiting because it's not as cold as New York, believe it or not. So surprise! Who'd have thought? Yeah. But go
I'm
figure.
in Texas, where
Texas.
we don't know what we're gonna do today. I haven't been outside. Yesterday it was warm. It was
Hmm.
hot,
Hmm.
and I had to do a lot of stuff. I had to
Okay.
get my hair braided,
I'm
and
very.
get my nails done, and because that's a priority with me.
That's right.
And uh, it's I'm today is Sunday, so I'm just gonna lounge around like I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday.
That's hey, listen. If we can lounge around, I'd lounge around 24/7. Well, not 24/7 because I like to do stuff, but I'd lounge around quite a bit if I could. Because it's nothing wrong with lounging around, in my opinion. I'm so happy that you're here today. I cannot tell you. You're like a legend. When I think of I hear kings of comedy and queens of comedies. I'm like somebody you're missing. Hello, you're missing somebody. So I appreciate you for coming. I really, really do. And
Thank
we
you
will,
for having me.
yeah, thank you. Um, so we want to figure out how your career rose from comedy to acting and having your own sitcom named after you. So Black History Month passed, but it's a fact that I just want people to know that you are the first woman to
From
have.
on national network.
Yes, I'm
I pick ABC and stuff, and that hadn't happened,
right.
and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Yes.
However, I learned a lot. I learned racism 101, and uh
All
and
right.
what comes with that.
Well, that's something to say. How did you first even get into comedy and acting?
Um,
'Cause-
I've always been silly
mhm,
and like to have fun.
mhm.
And I was working at this restaurant in a town that used to be a sundown town. Do you know what that is?
Yes, I heard.
Okay. Uh, in Pasadena, Texas, and they said you don't belong here. And I said, are we going to start that?
Mm.
And they said, no, we think you're funny. You have talent. You have a talent. And these three redneck white folk took me to the comedy club. And I
Really?
said, yeah,
That's
it was
amazing.
redneck. That's rednecks. And it's funny. I was the first black to ever work at Steak and Egg Kitchen.
Wow.
And it was so funny because I needed the job,
Yeah.
and my husband had gotten laid off because Ronald Reagan was in office, bastard. And so it's really I worked there, I worked the 10 to 6.
10 to
That's what I
6.
call the lynching hours. And and the lynching hours. So anyway, we get up there, and they take me to the comedy club, and I'm in awe. And so Robert Parrish,
Mhm.
He said, "Are you gonna get on stage?" I went, "No, no, no, no. I'm not getting on stage.
Right.
Ooh, Jesus, no, 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 no." And the next week, I came back
Mhm.
on my birthday and got on stage.
Wow.
And I talked about what happens at Steak and Egg Kitchen
Mhm.
and about this couple. They're both so drunk,
Mhm.
and the woman is choking on a piece of steak. And if you think I'm gonna stick my finger down your throat, she got another thing coming. And he just kept looking at her. He drunk, she drunk. It's nothing worse than a drunk that's choking
Oh,
on a piece of
how funny,
beef.
funny. It's like this is
Uh,
straight.
on rare steak, no less. And I'm like, and he kept saying, "Darling, are you all right? Darling, are you all right?" And I'm like, "Bitch, she's choking. When white folk turn blue, that means shit is going terribly wrong. Do you think you might want to get on this?" And finally, some kind of way, she got hit in the back. Maybe me, I'm not sure.
Mhm.
And the meat came out. It was, ugh. And he said, "I was you all right?" And she slapped him. And that's what he gets for not paying attention and being drunk.
Mm-mm.
When you're a couple out, you both can't be drunk. It's in the rule book. Look it up.
Right. I that is just amazing that it was three. And guys, relax. It's comedy. It is what it is. And she's telling the exact truth, her exact truth. So
It
relax, folks.
was it was two
Relax.
two
Okay.
men and a woman, two
Yeah.
men and a woman, and they were country rednecks, and I'm sure they used to use the N word and all of that. But when they met me,
Mhm.
a man before I started doing comedy full time, when I was fixing to leave Steak and Egg Kitchen, he said, "Wait a minute, I want to tell you something." I said, "What?" And I remember him because he had a head like Fred Flintstone.
Mhm.
He said, "I used to be prejudiced until I met you."
That's so weird. This is the part that I love to hear these stories about, because it is we are so like made so different, or every human being. And this is what I'm talking about, that even the most people who don't even like us, there are some people who can say, maybe I should change my mind about this. Because my brother was like that. He could go hang out with the Klan. Like, I'm not even kidding. He could you'd be like, boy, what are you doing with them? That's not your. He would be like, no, Coop, come on, so for you to say that is so prevalent, because it teaches us that it's really in our own self and our own spirit that we are able to. We don't want to change people's minds, but once they see us, we become so contagious that they're like, let me get with the program. You know what I'm saying? And that can go.
I don't know. I don't know. I tell people all the time, I said, there's only there's a certain amount of people on the earth that can love truly, and usually they suffer the most. And the sad part of it is you didn't realize how much they loved you until they walked away.
Mm,
And the sad, I mean, it's really sad because when you look at what's going on now,
mm,
and even in comedy, like I work on a cruise line,
mm-hmm.
Carnival, and they sent us memos about us talking about politics.
Uh-oh.
I have
Uh-oh.
never been not able to talk about a president, and I've talked about them all, whether I voted for them or not. But
Right.
now we cannot talk.
At all?
We have to be quiet
Wow.
and put on mute. Uh, my feelings are: have you seen fucked up yet? Have
It
you seen fucked up? Because shit is getting fucked up real bad and real quick.
is.
And
Very
and
true.
we can't talk about it because the first time, because I'm a person that if you tell me not to do something, I'm gonna do it. So the first time Trump got in office,
Mhm,
I was telling the audience that he had asked me to perform at one of his inauguration parties,
mhm.
and these two old white women stood up and in the middle of the show, and said, "My president did not ask you to perform at his inauguration."
Oh
And
no.
I said, "Oh, he's just your president? Isn't he
Mm-mm.
all of our presidents?" And I was caught off guard, but not. And he's my president. Well, take your. I said, "Don't leave." I was gonna do some Bush jokes, and this is the joke I was gonna do about Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me to perform at his inauguration, one of his inauguration parties.
Mm-hmm.
He said he would give me $250,000,
Okay. Mm.
and that's a lot of money for me.
Yeah, I can
Okay,
I can feel it for you.
it's hard to walk away from. I said, but then I got to thinking I was gonna have to be black the next day, so I said no.
You said that.
Now that was the joke. That was the joke that was so harmful. That was gonna scar people. Every time I do that joke, they bust out laughing. And these two women went downstairs to the guest customer service, and they said they wanted a formal apology from me.
No.
And I said, and that when they told me, when the director told me, cruise director told me, he looked at me and he bowed. He said, "I know." I said, "Tell you what you go do. You go tell him." And the woman was so snarky. She said, "I'm waiting for your call." And I said, "This is what's happening. You tell her for slavery, Jim Crow, the bombing of Black Wall Street, the murder of Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, said, and I just started naming Emmett Till, just naming a lot of atrocities against us. I said, when she apologized for that, we'll talk about whether I'm apologize for the Trump joke. I said, but it's not looking good. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not looking good. And they busted out laughing, and they knew what I said was true. And they said, we knew you weren't gonna apologize. I said, just make sure she knows, because I'm not going to.
Right.
Um, uh, I will apologize if I feel wrong, really, really maybe I took it too far.
Right. Right.
Because I've been known to do that.
Right.
But if you think that I'm gonna apologize for talking about mentioning his name,
Right.
girl, you better go find some dicks. I don't know what to tell you. Just you and that other bitch you hanging with, you're both 90. Go somewhere. Go somewhere. See,
I
this is
hate
what happens. I almost said it too. I almost said it, but they were so old. I was like, see, this would happen when you don't have dick in your life. You go
Oh
around
gosh, I gotta
standing up in the
break
middle of
down.
the show and ruining it for everybody else. I said, that's what happens. Now you want to act all ignorant and shit. And I almost got her, but I didn't. Cause she was old as my grandma.
Uh,
I can't beat up on old people.
no, no.
Cause I get in trouble.
Yeah. Plus, they won't learn nothing anyway. I found out. Yeah, I found the
When
hard
they're
way.
like nine, well, people don't stop learning when they get real old.
Mm, mm,
They
mm.
no, they you would think that they would stop being racist at this time. It's 2025.
It's exhausting. I don't know where they get the energy.
I
Like,
don't know. I don't even know if I can say this. Some days I don't even want to go outside.
I know what you mean, and
I just don't even. I don't even fucking want to feel. I don't want. Nobody has. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had a couple of incidents on the ship, and I've handled it gracefully. And I will say that how can I say it? Some of y'all blessed that I've been washed in the blood of the Lamb. That's what you've been blessed because God has put His hands on me. Because old Thea would have,
right.
ooh,
Lord,
woo.
woo, laid hands.
I have to let Kendrick Lamar say what I want to say now.
Mm,
So, because he said, you know what? I
Mm.
missed the Super Bowl because I was probably doing on a ship or somewhere. But
Right,
let
you
me
are.
tell you something. When I saw that, I digress, people. I do that a lot
Yes.
sometimes.
Okay, great.
So anyway, I thought it was amazing.
Mm.
And I
Yeah,
thought that he told his truth.
he
And
sure
I
did.
thought he told our truth.
Mhm.
And if all the Crips and Bloods could get together
Mm.
and just knock it the fuck off, killing
Mm.
each other, could you
Mm.
knock it off? What
Yeah.
is your problem? Some
Yes. Yes.
tennis shoes? What the fuck, man? You know, even when I was young, we didn't fight about no because he looked at your tennis shoes or he
Right.
stepped on your foot accidentally. You just
Right.
say, excuse me, and move on.
Yes.
Y'all are
Yes.
taking shit way too. You're not taking the fight to where it needs to be.
Well, they stopped, since I think I want to say, and people correct me if I'm wrong, but okay, so Nipsey Hussle had started it, but he didn't really start it. I found out. I think it was really Big Hit who started it, who's the father of a producer who's done everybody in the business, everybody rap or hip hop. They've had his thing. Very young, bright kid, very bright guy. But I believe it was his father that actually called this truce up for the during the Super Bowl. You saw them all on stage. I believe
Yes.
he was one of the catalysts. There was a couple of people, but Kendrick and him, and I want to say it was somebody else, were catalysts for calling that truce. And they literally have a truce going on now because they all said, "Listen, we got to stop. Like we can't do it. Nope. There's people after us already. We don't worry. We're gonna get our turn to be off. Like we don't need to be off on each other." So I'm glad about that because all these young kids who are in those gangs are so freaking brilliant and could be running their own businesses. I'm like, dude, let's open businesses, like do something like that. Like that makes more sense. And then compete over that, but not over who got this block and who got that. That just doesn't even make sense. But think
Eh,
about this. Think about this. And I'll leave that politics alone after this one. Think about this. Even though they're kids and they're young, what do you think is going on right now when you saw on the news the other day, Mr. President and Zelensky? That is exactly what is happening. It's over territory.
Okay. Okay. You know what? Let me tell you something. I have never, you're talking to a woman who's in her 68 years old,
God bless you.
who has never seen a president be so disrespectful to another president
Mm.
and try to bully him in front of everybody when
Yeah.
the truth be told, you try to steal the minerals from his land that
Boom.
does not belong to you. You
Boom.
know what? Let me tell you something. This is the same thing the Indians went through. You
Oh,
know,
everybody.
I don't blame Zelensky. Fuck you too, man.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you know what? Let me tell you something.
Right.
Goliath was a bully.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
in the Bible. You can read it for yourself.
Yes.
Goliath was a bully,
You're right.
and everyone feared him.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't take but one. And that's
Yes.
all it's ever taken throughout history. It didn't take but one,
Mm-hmm.
a boy with a rock and a slingshot, to bring his monkey ass down.
That's right. And that's yeah. Mm.
Mister,
It's
this y'all, from my heart.
yeah. Right.
I say to my own people, wake up and know who you were meant to be, who
Mm.
you really are. Just look it up, research it. You wasn't always a slave, and when you kill another black man, you have a slave mind. When you breed children and you abandon your children and they wander and the earth not knowing who their father is.
Mm. Mm.
Okay, okay, get
Yes.
on the grind, man. Get on the ground and see who you are.
Yes. Yes. And
I mean,
everybody.
go
Mm.
ahead.
No, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, I'm at this point. I mean, if people don't realize, we got to all come together. Anybody who's really about that God life, that's really supposed to be about that God life, if we don't all get together and handle this, we got a problem because they're taking over, and it's not what we think it is. They think, oh, they're going to save us, and they're going to
No,
all the
no, no.
thousandaires are thinking, oh, we're going to be saved. You're not. You if you're not a trillionaire, good luck. Good luck.
I mean,
You ain't on the list. You
if
know.
black people that are wealthy get in trouble,
Well, they don't. If they're only 2%, 2 or 3%. I mean, they don't even count.
Okay, for the first time in history, we have more wealthy black people than we have ever had
Oh yeah, it went from
in the
1%.
history of in America.
Yes, yes, it did.
You
We
mean
do.
to tell me? You mean to tell me? I'm just saying.
Uh huh.
You can't rebuild some of these neighborhoods. You
Well, why you
can't build a school. We can't expect white people to save us because they have an ulterior motive.
some do, some don't. Yeah.
Because they
Well,
know,
thing.
they know, they don't know all the secrets, but they know some of the secrets and they know who we really are. They just banking on that we don't know who we are.
Right, and that's
And you just have to wake up.
yes, the MAGA eugenics crew, I call them. That's
Uh,
what I call them. MAGA eugenics is what I call it, because there are some people who are not, like my grandfather definitely was about that life at all. You know what I'm saying? So some people, I got a couple people that I'm like, no, I trust that even if I was in the middle of the war, they'd save my life. There's a couple people left. There's a few people left. Now sometimes it's hard when you wake up and you go out your door and you realize like, oh, are you kidding me? Or you go in the store or somebody grabs their bag or just little things, little subtle things, or you don't get booked for the gig because you know why you didn't get booked for the gig.
Forget.
And nobody else, they like, oh, you're just paranoid. I'm like, no, I'm not paranoid. I know the difference. Thank you. I mean, how do you, it's especially
You
in your field, how do you like breathe on things like that, on the racism that, because we already got it out in the world, but then you get it at work, you get it there. Only place you don't get it, if you're lucky, is at home. You know what I'm saying?
in your
It's
room. And
yeah,
let me tell you, say what I need a day sometime when I just no crack a free day and just need to get it out my system. And watch some if some whoever's watching it was why did she say that? The same reason why you invented the N word. So anyway, um,
okay.
you can't. It's hard.
Mhm.
And black white people want to say black people are just you just being the victim. No, 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 no. There is no people on the face of the earth
Hmm.
that is hated as the black man.
Well,
And it's, I
that was
mean,
tough.
you
That was
got all over the people. Koreans are scared of us. Asians are scared of us.
that's
And
so true.
and I think about it, and I said, well, how did they get to be scared of us?
Yeah.
Because of white people. They
Yeah.
told them lies about us.
Yes.
But you want to emulate us. You
Well,
steal everything we do.
Well,
Our
that's the system was made that way, unfortunately, and it's trickled down into generations of generations of generations, and still doing it. That's where you get the MAGAs from. Those are generations of people who set up these rules, who set up all that. But I focus on the now, which is I refuse to let anybody put me in a category or put me in a spot where I feel like I'm the one that feeling less than, or I can't do something. I refuse. Even if I'm being delusional, I am not going to let someone, no one can make me bow down. Put it that way. I don't care what color you are, I don't care where you're from, I don't care how much money you make, you can't. Because I know that we all have divine purpose. So we know the system was set up this way. So I personally, I ignore the system half the time, except for when it's in my face. That's what I do. I ignore it. I
you
address
have to sometimes. It's like, you know what? Where is your individuality other than coveting other people's stuff?
it.
Okay.
Well,
When I look at there is you really sometimes when I look at us in church
mm,
and they're singing, and I think of how magnificent a people we are, and how come we don't know it, and how come we are a 1.3 trillion dollar consumer. We could take our money and go build us stores in a neighborhood of our own.
it
We
wouldn't
don't
matter.
have to
It would
buy
still be
from
burned down.
them.
It would still be burned down, as we see with Tulsa
Yeah, I know.
and
And
Philadelphia and other places. I mean, so that's
and
not
and
the truth.
I look at it and I go, "Oh my God, do we even have any clue about how magnificent we are?" When I hear
think we do.
uh Mahalia Jackson, there's a movie called Imitation of Life,
Yes.
and when she's singing
Hmm.
when Juanita Moore is dead,
Yes.
and when she's singing, oh my God, it just does something to me,
Mm,
and it stirs my soul.
mm.
How can a people be beat and still praise God, and still praise God, and still believe in God, and
Indeed.
still
You still
seek
be kind.
God,
I mean,
and
we
we're
still do things. Still,
God.
yeah.
It's when I hear, when I look at little African children dancing
Mm.
and singing and stuff, it just warms my heart. It's not to say that I don't love white people or Mexicans or Asians, which I have a thing about Asian men. I don't know why. Where did I get that? Oh, I know
You like them
BTS.
too? I
Let me tell you something.
love them
BTS
too.
does something to me. I don't know. I that little Jungkook is something else. I just love that little book. I just love him.
Japanese
Uh,
favorite.
I love him to death. Let me tell you something. I but I'm a military brat,
Okay.
and I lived in Japan for 3.5 years,
Oh,
and
Konnichiwa.
so my dad was in the military, and
Oh.
so I can see the joy
Mhm.
in different cultures. Uh, but do they know? White people know because they know. They said, "Well, we gave you God." No, you didn't. We already knew God. God already knew us in Africa.
Mm.
You gave us religion, fundamental religion. That's what you gave us, and that's why we have all these big mega churches.
Yes, and the Bible's been rewritten 5,000 times, but that's another story. I don't want to go into. I won't.
But
That
you
one.
know what? I go to a little church.
Yeah. Oh,
I
really?
want to go to a little church. I don't want to go to a big mega church. And when they
Yeah.
start talking about money, I got to go.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
give us seventy
Paula White.
five
Paula White
hundred
is the director.
dollars.
Paula White is the director of ministry of what was that? Trump's minister of something for the White House now. Ha ha! I'm like dying on that. But you know who Paula White is, right?
Yeah, I know who that bitch is.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, this is a circus, is what it's become. But to bring it back, I'm going to bring it back to you. But here's to say, in all that is that as sure as I know there's a God, that's who I rely on, and that's what keeps me sane and not become like those that are hateful toward me, because I stay focused. I mean, really focused on Him. And when I get to that place where I'll be like, "Oh, I hate these people. I hate this," I stop saying, "Wait a minute, which ones am I talking about? Let me break it down," because I don't want everybody to think that I hate them, because I don't hate everybody.
I
There's
don't hate
MAGA types,
many.
and there's KKK types, and I can name specifics that I don't like. Zionists, I don't like. Certain people I don't like. But then there's other people who don't fit in those categories that I don't even see that. So I just want to be clear to people. If
I
you
don't
want
hate anybody.
to not to
What I
sugarcoat.
hate is that you prevent the overall good of the people. And not just black people. We are in a I have never seen no. I got to be honest with you, and it's so hard not to talk about it
Right. I know you try to stay clear.
because you try to
Yeah.
stay on the right road with Jesus, and you say there's so much shit.
No, it's a lot.
It's
So,
so you say so. I can't wait. I can't talk about.
right. Right.
Why would
Right.
I can't talk about no. I'm still trying to figure out how the Chinese people snuck through to Mexico and came through the cave. I don't. How you? Yeah, I know you can swim, but you couldn't possibly have swam from China all the way. When I saw the Chinese people coming out in in the on the border of Texas
Mm-hmm.
through the little cubby hole. I
Mm-hmm.
thought to myself, how in the fuck? I just don't see it. I just don't. And I have I had to laugh because I said, if you got some determination, you can get here. You
Right.
know, I don't know if I would walk that far here, but
Mm-mm.
or how much sex did you have to get over here? I don't know. You know, it was some sex involved. You do, you
Oh, well,
know.
unfortunately, that is a true thing with some people. I knew a girl that told me, someone that came over, she told me that's how she got here pregnant. Yeah, it
Or
was
she was
bad.
gonna have an anchor baby.
Well, that wasn't the intention, but she didn't plan on being, essayed. Unfortunately, that was that. But she's been here now in like 35 years. I don't know, 40 years. I don't even know. But it
Well,
was
now
sad.
you want to bring up you gotta go. Shut up.
I know
It,
exactly. It's like
it's like,
she earned her spot here. Please let her do it.
please, child, please. We're okay. Who gonna get my TV then? I'm just.
Right.
I did a show in El Paso.
Texas. Oh, Texas. Okay.
Okay.
hmm
And oh, that's why I forget London. You might not know where El Paso Tech is, Texas.
I'm from New York. I live in New York. I live in that's the
I know
city.
you know, but they may not know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a nice big show, and excuse me.
hmm
And I was telling them, I said, I saw a white gentleman and I said, if I came in your house and stole your 78-inch colored TV, I just walked out. Just walked out. I said, I just took your fucking TV. I don't give a damn. I took it because I wanted it. And I walked around your neighborhood. Every time you saw me, it was me and your TV walking around. What would you do? He said, I'd want it back. I said, that's how that's how the Latino community feel. They want their shit back.
Right.
And I said, and so then I told him about history. I said, do you even understand why the Battle of Alamo happened?
Mm,
And a lot of them were laughing. No, I said, well, guess what? Mama Thea gonna tell you.
mm,
I said, Santa Anna told the Texicans, they were called Texicans when the
mhm,
white man came to Texas. Texicans, not Texans.
mm,
He said, I tell you what you can do. You can stay on the land, but don't bring no slaves. Don't bring no slaves.
mm.
And Stephen F. Austin said, you don't tell me what to do with my niggas. I can take my niggas where I want to take them.
All right.
And so Santa Ana said, No, 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 you can't." And they started fighting. Now, if you recall, it wasn't but three people that left the Alamo:
Mm, mm,
a white woman, a baby, and a black man.
mm,
They walked out.
mm,
Nobody else. Davy Crockett, everybody else was gone.
mm,
There is a city in Mexico. I can't pronounce it. Well, I think Nivet. I can't pronounce it, but
mhm,
you can look it up.
mhm.
That let the slaves, if they could make it to Mexico and make it there, they could stay.
Yes,
And
I heard.
many times they had people come, and the Texans come back to want to get the slaves. They said, "Oh no,
Mhm,
you can't come here, and we're
mhm.
not gonna let you come here."
Yeah.
And the Mexicans, as quiet as they've kept, you are linked to us because you are part of our freedom.
Yes.
And it's so much stuff they keep hidden. They
Right.
keep hidden, and you like, can I talk about that? No.
Mhm,
And I always laugh. I remember my great grandmother and great aunts,
mhm,
you know, taking care of white people's children, and they were the help. And I said, I know that life.
mhm,
I laugh. I said, well, I could talk about that
mhm,
maybe,
mhm.
but then I might get mad.
Oh.
So I don't that. But you know
Watch
what
out.
though? My grandmother, she was something else. Um, she worked for this white lady, and she said the lady called her and said, Evelyn, the children won't get in the bathtub.
Oh God.
And she said they won't take a bath. This is a wealthy woman. Yeah, go take a bath. Boys won't take a bath. And she said, put one of them on the phone, ma'am. And he said, the water's too hot. And so she said, get a phone to your mother. And now, what the fuck sense did that make? She could have just put her hand in the water to see, but she had to call my grandmother.
To
And she
see.
said, Miss Allen, you need to put some cold water in the tub. The boys
Yeah.
say the water too hot. And I said, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And I was young.
Right.
And I just, how dependent, how
That's crazy.
dependent.
Because you're still young, so that's crazy that you remember that as a kid.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, I remember them getting their laundry done from my
oh,
great
yes,
aunt and
yes,
ironing and stuff. I
yes.
remember white people coming by and getting their laundry and their ironing
The
from
cakes,
my aunts and
cakes.
cakes, tea
My
cakes.
cakes. She was the best one around. But that's you know, it's crazy because it's like yesterday, and people think it's like 20,000 years ago. And before I go back to my Thea, I want to talk to you about you. It's just crazy that it seems like forever, but it was really just yesterday. Like I was a kid.
Yeah,
Like
and
it's crazy to
and
think about.
when you think about when I think about now I'm digressing again.
Right.
When I think about the TV show, and I started in the 80s,
Yes, that's
and
what I
I
want.
got the TV show in the 90s.
How did you get that? By the way.
Okay, this is what happened. I was a road comic, a road warrior.
Oh, well,
And my first thing was Rodney Dangerfield had heard about me.
mhm. He's funny. I love him.
Okay. And so he had seen a videotape of me,
Mhm,
and he called my house.
mhm.
And they said, girl, it's Rodney. I said, no, Rodney Dangerfield on the damn phone. Stop being silly. And they go, no, it really is. I go, hello, who is this?
So, I like them.
It's Rodney Dangerous. I said, oh, okay, hey. He said, don't talk so loud. I'm not talking loud. And I almost want to say, motherfucker, this is my phone. You talk how you want on your phone. I'm talking how I want on my phone. You
It's
can't
funny.
run my phone. So anyway, he said he'd like to see me live. So they sent for me to go to New York.
Wow.
And I did my thing. He says, I just like you. I just like you.
Mm. It's probably because of
Something
the
about you. He
mm.
said, you're so down to earth, so
Exactly.
down.
Exactly.
So that's how I got uh
Started.
the special with
Mhm.
Tim,
Yeah.
excuse me, and
Mhm.
Jeff Foxworthy and all of them.
Okay. Yeah. Do
So
you quite a bit? I didn't even realize Ugly Betty.
I did a lot before I did Ugly Betty. I love
Yeah.
this stupid thing.
Yes. You got it. Yeah. No. Yeah, you
Child
did.
of myself.
No, I
So
saw. Go ahead.
and I had done uh a pilot, Where's Rodney and stuff because of
Oh.
Rodney Dangerfield. Okay,
Mm.
so now they invite me to the Montreal Comedy Festival. Okay, for some reason I turn out to be somewhat the belle of the ball.
Okay.
No, no, that was in Scotland.
Okay.
I'm different. I say what I want to say. I do
Mhm,
the adult show.
mhm,
Uh, I have a good time.
mhm.
Uh, but I'm still Thea.
Okay.
Being Thea is difficult.
Mhm.
It's very difficult. Back then.
Oh, I can imagine. Mm.
Okay, because you're talking to a person that was a battered wife. I'm the
Right.
black sheep.
Mm.
Uh, I done had, I haven't fought a lot of men in my time
Mm.
physically.
Mm.
Uh, I'm not proud of that,
Right.
but it happened.
Right. Well, that made you who you are. I mean, probably even in your comedy to be so.
Uh, it's it's hard. It's hard to be me sometimes, especially when you feel so many things and you can't you can express them, but they don't come out quite the way you want.
Mm, mm,
Um,
mm,
it so I do Showtime. I've done like umpteen Showtime specials and stuff.
mhm, mhm.
I want to I want to do a one woman show, but I got
Uh,
to do all the moving the goalposts.
yeah, but what? Yeah, but that's something. I'll talk to you more about that later. I think that's something that's very achievable and not as hard as you think, as they making it think it is.
They keep moving. Okay, it used to be okay. The deal was if you could get on TV,
Right.
then you would move up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
then you get on TV. They don't. It's not. They move the goalposts.
Of course.
Now it's something else. I only my only one of my regrets is I never got to be on Carson,
Mm.
Johnny Carson. Everybody else got to, but not me. But
Okay.
I've been on Letterman and everything else.
Yes.
Uh then I go to Montreal and I'm kind of I'm not good at bragging. Everybody likes me. Let me just put it that way. Everybody digs me.
Yeah.
Okay. So now this is a true story. Mr. Weinstein came and he said, "I see you have more material."
Mm.
Cuz John McCullen and Tim Allen
Mm-hmm.
and Jeff Foxworthy, they had got specials
Mm-hmm.
from Weinstein,
Mm.
and he came to taunt me. I was standing at the bar, and he came to taunt me. That well, you saw I gave him their specials, their very own specials. I said, yeah, I saw.
Mm.
And he just wouldn't stop. And before I knew it, I was balling up my fist.
Mm.
And
Okay.
I was fixing to punch this fucker. I was finna steal on him. And
Mm.
my manager, Bernie Young, slid in between us. He said, look, you want to talk business? You talk to me. Don't talk to her.
Mm. Mm.
And Bernie Young, I never will forget. He took my you know how men take your elbow and walk with you,
Right. Right.
and he said you were gonna hit him. I said I was gonna fuck him up. I was going. I said
Lights out.
I was gonna get him. I was gonna get him.
Lights out.
And he looked at me. He said, "You're crazy." I said, "Yeah, I know. It's kind of kooky." Um, and after the Montreal thing, William Morris came.
Okay.
They're a
But
big agency.
literally more agency. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they signed me
Awesome.
and they wanted to know my story.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met these people, Bernie Kukoff and Andrew Suskind. Andrew Suskind is David Suskind's father.
Yeah.
Son, he's his son.
Mhm.
And they asked me about my life and I told them. And they wrote a script
Mm.
and I read it.
Mm.
And henceforth, here come Thea.
Wow.
However,
Mhm.
I thought I had a winning hand.
Right.
And Jay Sandrich, all these guys, they worked with Bill Cosby.
Right.
All of them.
Hmm.
How could I go wrong?
Right.
It wasn't until I talked to Bill Cosby and how I realized how I had gone wrong.
Mm. Mm.
And I said I had what is it that what they have? Dead man's hand when they play poker. I
Mm.
said, "Oh Lord." I realized that these people were saboteurs. They were not going to be on Team Thea. And
Nope.
believe me, when I talked to Bill, I mean, I was on the, what's his name?
So
It was a talk show, late
I was
night.
saying,
David
oh,
Letterman.
okay.
David Letterman.
Mhm.
Okay, we were in the green room. Girl, when Bill got through talking to me, I almost wanted to fall on the ground and cry.
Oh
He
no.
told me about each of the people I had on my show that was in power. And I said, oh, Lord.
So you kind of dodged a bullet, I think.
Well, you know what? I would like, even though I'm very much, like my eye, in case anybody wants to
Right.
know, I had an eye infection
Mhm.
and it was getting well. But
Mhm.
guess what Miss Thea did?
Oh,
You
Lord.
know, nail glue
Oh no.
and eye drops bottles are the same in
Oh,
size. Oh, girl, I accidentally picked up. Oh, it was so fucked up. It
oh.
was tray fucked up. It just was.
Ooh.
And I got the nail glue in my eye, and I'm
God, what you
trying.
do? What they do? Flush it?
They flush it, but remember, it's glue. And they
Oh,
had to cut my lashes off and everything. It was just a terrible experience.
I can't even
So,
imagine.
girl, please.
Ooh.
So when I went through all that abacaba,
Mhm.
I went through all that abacaba.
Mhm.
I had to tell them that because they I probably were going, what is she doing with her eye? Anyway, because people are like that.
I know. Yeah.
Because when I see shit, I like, well, tell me what happened to your eye. Because if with me, I would just say, well, bitch, what happened to your eye? So I would say, okay, so you do all of these things,
Mhm.
and then they have the black wave in comedy.
Yes. Oh, we know how that goes. Well,
I mean, when I say the black wave, I'm talking about Def Jam and all of that stuff.
yes,
And so the dynamics of comedy had changed.
yes.
Maybe not so much, you
For me.
know, when a white man could tell me that I'm not black enough, I have to question, uh,
Mm.
what the fuck did you just say to me?
That's what he said to you, and that, and
And he
see,
was serious. He was serious. Now these are the same people that wouldn't. They thought all black comics were the same.
right?
They
The
thought all women comics
red
were the
box, like
same.
red box. Yeah.
Okay. They thought all the women were the same, all the men, all blacks were the same.
Right.
And now I had been telling club owners, comedy club owners all over the country. I said, look, you're missing money. The money is in the black dollar.
Mm. Mm,
I
mm,
said, because black people come and they dress up and
that's
they're
what he
going to
said.
have a
What's up?
good time.
That's what
I
he
said, they're going to drink call liquor. They're not going to drink well liquor. They're going to, and I explained the dynamic of my people to these club owners.
Mhm.
And before, well, the girls say they don't get tipped. And I said, that's a lie. My daddy taught me
Big
how to
lie.
tip.
That's a
Big
big lie.
lie, big fucking lie.
I don't know
So
anybody.
anyway, I said, if you don't give the service, why would I give you money?
There you go.
So,
Boom. There it is.
okay.
That's it. That's it.
So then the wave came.
Mhm.
The problem was if you could only do see, you can be a start. Now Chris Tucker is a prime example.
Okay.
Very funny,
Mhm.
best 5 minutes on Def Jam.
Wow.
Okay, he did.
Mhm.
But he had only been doing comedy maybe a year
What?
or so.
Mm.
Next thing you know, big star.
Yes.
Okay. Big star got to be able to deliver because there's some other guys out here that been working on the road
Mhm.
for years,
Mhm.
honing their craft, and you just got here.
Right.
So now you have to follow these guys.
Right. Big act.
you're the big act,
Mm,
but you
mm,
have to be able to deliver because
mm.
these guys have been on the road, and it made stars out of people that some were ready and some were not,
Right, right.
and then it changed the dollar. All of this is encompassed.
Yes,
And
yes,
so I'm watching it, I'm thinking, and I'm sure Shirley Hemphill and Marsha Warfield, they were working on their art. We were just trying to pave a way for women and
yes,
and diversity, and I'll be damned, and we went right back to segregation. I don't know how that happened. you
yeah,
know, they are in LA at the Laugh Factory. They had the Asian invasion, Mexican night, black chocolate Sundays. It's
right,
like, why we got to be so divided?
right,
Comedy
right.
was never meant to be a division. It's meant to be a bunch of people with thoughts.
Right, because when I look back to the older times, you had Dick Gregory with the what's his name? I can't remember the first guy. Lenny with the not
Lenny
together.
Bruce.
Bruce with the Dangerfield with the I don't know. Give me somebody. Carol Burnett. I mean, let's just say.
You
So it's a
had
whole different
you had
set.
all of the, but see, they were then you had these guys, we got to say what we wanted to say. And Lenny Bruce, bless his heart, he just he got in his own way. But most comedians that have something to say and that are profound,
Right.
they're self-destructive.
Yes. Well, that's what I was going
Okay,
to.
go
Yeah.
ahead, ask me.
Going to ask you about that. Do you think some? Well, I think comics. I'll just say, and you can tell me if you agree or not. I think a lot of our comedy comics and even actors and actresses, actors, but we have a different way to go. Our past sometimes can affect our delivery, good or bad, or indifferent. I believe
True.
so. Whatever it is that we experience, I believe somehow or another gets on that stage.
Yeah. Okay. Richard Pryor is proof of that.
Yeah.
Uh, your grandmother's a madam, your mama's a hoe, and your daddy ain't shit.
Right, the way you say it, though. When you,
Okay, that's the truth.
I know he said that. It's
The most painful,
mm,
you know, the most painful shit
right.
that you go through.
Mm,
You, what else? I was in New York and my mother died,
mm, oof.
and I got the phone call right before I got on stage,
What? Oh my lord. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
and I got I got to I got on stage and I did it, and I did it because that's what my mother would have said. There's nothing you can do for me. I'm gone.
Mm, mm,
It's hard. It's hard to hold it together
mm,
and do what you were meant to do. And sometimes when my father died, I would say my shows would be so fucking, they would be so fun for some reason. They would be tight. I would be on point.
mhm,
But in your heart, you're like broken. You're
mm.
hurt.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And you have to keep going no matter what. And that's hard. That's
Yeah.
hard.
I think that's why a lot of comics end up drinking and doing drugs because
I would tell you that.
yeah,
Yeah, I
right.
would say that.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
would
Well,
say
say
that.
speak on that. Speak on that because that's a big thing. And not to mention that the comedy clubs literally promote you being an alcoholic. They say here you have to have 2 drinks in order to practice here.
A
It's like
2 drink minimum.
yes.
Okay. Okay, let me tell you something.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what other addicts were doing, but you know, the dealer will deliver. You know what I'm saying? Y'all
Oh, wow.
going in the street in the hood and stuff, that's bullshit.
Mhm.
If you spend enough, they'll come to your house.
That's right.
Uh,
It's
I
crazy.
would tell you that the there were days when I needed to be high.
Right.
I needed to be, and I'm not talking about weed.
Right.
I'm talking about cocaine.
Right.
I needed to be high. I needed to be numb, and I didn't want to feel anything. I didn't want to talk to anybody.
Mm,
I
mm,
just didn't want to. And that's a very real people. The reason I'm gonna tell you how you how it happens.
mhm,
Okay, you go on stage, you kill it, 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 kill it.
mhm,
You get a standing ovation. You get off the stage.
mhm,
You sign autographs or whatever it is.
mhm. And that's the high for the moment.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then everybody's gone, you're by yourself.
That's it. There it is.
You're alone,
Mm, mm,
and you may try to call home or something,
mm.
but don't nobody want to hear that shit because they
No.
don't relate to it.
Nope.
So there you are.
Mm, mm, mm,
There
mm,
you are, and you're in pain. So you need to be anesthetized.
mm,
Oh,
mm,
you're high, but you're numb, and that's how it happens.
mm.
And you look okay if that happens enough, the numbness. At first, you think you're having a party and you're having a good time, but in reality, you're masking something.
Exactly. Exactly.
You've got secrets
Mm,
in
mm,
your soul. There's a brokenness in you
mm,
that you can't tell anybody about
mm.
because, well, first of all, they don't give a fuck as long as you're giving them what they want.
Right. Right. Mm.
So the I know comics that gamble and cess. I mean, oh my god, I know comics that drink and drink and drink and drink. I've been with the best of them.
Mm,
Okay,
mm,
Bill Hicks was, oh, he could drink some Jack Daniels.
mhm.
He could drink. One time they said he could have free drinks. That motherfucker drank a fifth. The club owner, he was so outdone. And I said, you can't tell an alcoholic it's free. What's
Right.
wrong with you? I told
Right.
you,
Right.
and I told, and it was fun. I thought it was funny, but
Mm,
it really wasn't funny. It
right.
really wasn't funny
Mm,
because he felt how many drinks is in a fifth?
mm,
You drinking up his profit. And I
mm.
kind of giggled. I mean, that was wrong.
Right.
But I've been with people that get drunk and call me in the middle of the night and say, Thea, I don't know who this man is in my bed. And
Oh
I
no.
go, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Comics is something else. Being a comic is something else. These
Yes.
mother I love my friends, but I can remember some shit that is so ridiculous. And she said, tell me, oh, Thea, there's a man in my bed. I said,
I know what you didn't know.
it's a man in your bed. What? I said, where are you? I'm in Illinois. Why is the man in your bed?
In
She said he
Illinois.
was the cab driver. I
Oh
said,
my God, no, not the character. Jeez.
and she gonna ask me, what do I do? I said,
Mhm.
where are you? She said, the hotel.
Mm, mm,
I said, tell him to get out. She said, I'm scared.
mm, mm,
I said, tell him you're gonna call the police. He'll get out. He'll get out. He'll get out. Call the cops. But
mm.
you see how you just sexaholics,
Right. Yeah.
uh,
A lot
drinking
of,
and
mhm.
debauchery. I mean, what P Diddy did, that's on a whole nother level.
A whole
But
nother,
oh my God! I mean, it's
whole
like,
nother level. And believe it or not, somehow or another, birds of a feather flock together. How do I say it? I'll just say
yeah,
it. I'll just say this: it all intertwines between the fashion, the music, comedy, all that. So it all intertwines. At some point, you have to make a decision, and if you're not sober making that decision, it can make not good money.
Well, if you give me drugs,
Right.
um, if you give a person enough
Mhm.
cocaine
Mhm.
and methamphetamines
Mhm.
and all these other trinkets,
Mhm.
things can happen. And you drugging some of these people,
Mhm.
okay? When
Oh,
you drug
that's
people,
mm, that
okay,
part. Mm.
okay, you drugging people. I stopped going to parties. I can be high by myself. I don't need no help.
Right.
Thank you. Cause see, you know what? The next thing you know, you there's people doing stuff to you, and it's not fun, and it's scary,
Right.
and I mean, I'm just telling you, and it starts. The loneliness will kill you. The comics have a quiet desperation that nobody understands except
Mhm.
another comic.
Mhm. Mhm. It's
You
a
got to
dilemma.
watch your husband and shit. Okay. Okay. Your wife is panicking because you on the road. She don't know what you doing.
Mm.
She know what she hope you ain't doing,
Right.
but you on the road. It's this business. This it can kill it. It can kill a marriage if it ain't strong.
Oh yeah.
If and the drug and the drinking. I know people, and I'm not gonna say anybody's names.
Good.
That
Good.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't do my share of dirt. I'm just saying I got delivered from that.
Thank God. Thank God.
Okay,
Yes. Thank you, God. Mm.
but
What do you think did it? What do you think
I'll
delivered
tell
you?
you that in my one woman show.
Yes, and that's what I'm gonna say. I can't wait for that because I always picture you doing a one woman show. Like especially when I hear your sets, I'm like, I want to see her by herself somewhere, like just her. That's it.
I
So I
just want to tell you because I really realize, thanks to Tanya and a few other people, I really have a story to tell.
you
I
do,
have a
you
story to
do.
tell,
It's so
and
much.
it's really spooky, and it's not, but it's you had to been there,
Mm,
and you want to. Let me just say this: if there's any people out there that want to be a stand-up comic,
mm,
I support that.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I don't. I mean, I support that,
Mm,
but no, three things you're gonna have to go in there with: the
mm,
armor of God,
mm,
knowing who you are and your worth,
yeah.
and the talent to deliver.
Mm,
You
mm.
you got to have those, because I just had passion, passion,
Mm.
passion, 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 passion.
Right.
I had passion, and the business wasn't as intricate as it is now.
Mm,
And I I think that I miss the Dick Gregory's and Franklin Ajay, and
yes.
I remember Franklin Ajay did a joke.
Mhm.
I got arrested for being a nigga on a sunny day. That
Wow.
is
That's a
that
good joke. Sorry. Guys, forgive the N word, but we got to use it. Sorry. She's a comedian.
okay, that's his joke, and there's the I've always thought that joke was very brilliant,
It's a very good.
because it says just how fucked up life can be for a black man.
It's so true. I mean, it's a thing that I think about all the time. It's like it's exhausting. Actually, it's exhausting.
I tell people all the time, I said, you think being black is easy? Be black for a week. I bet you want to kill you. I said, I tell you what, be black for a day and start at noon. And if you don't want to kill yourself,
Off yourself, right?
my name ain't Thea.
That,
It's hard out here. And
it
but
is.
you know what?
But having God is very
God
important.
lightens your burdens. And some days, I am I am I'm so happy. I'm just so happy to be here.
Right. Right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had to do it all again, I would do comedy. I would always do comedy. I
Mm-hmm.
love to make people laugh because I'm silly.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's the best thing? When
What's
the
that?
audience laughing and I can laugh with them
Yes.
because they get they get that I'm silly.
Mhm.
They get it. When they get it,
Mhm.
I love them. I love
Yes.
them the most. It's when they don't get it. I just like. Let me tell you something. This what I really hate.
Mhm.
I do a joke and the black people don't get it, but the white people are falling out. I hate that. I hate that.
When you know you did some comedy.
Okay, I did this joke. This joke is funny to me. I did this joke uh about who I had crushes on. And I did. When I was a
Mhm.
little girl, I had a crush on Steve McQueen, Jack Lord from the original
Mhm.
Hawaii Five O, and who else? Earl Flynn.
Oh, Earl Flynn.
Oh my God. And Robert Taylor. And I said I wanted to marry them, but it was illegal. And all the white people they fell out laughing. They fell out laughing. Black people laughed too. But I thought that was so funny that they would get what I was saying. How
Right.
you could lust for a man that you can never have because you could go to jail. I don't think people remember that. Even
Wow.
unless you're
That's
my
a good joke.
age.
That's a good joke.
Thank you so much.
Well, you were quite welcome, Miss Texas. Um, you've worked with like both stand up and with acting. Which one do you find more challenging, or why? Acting or a comedy?
God,
Hard call. Hmm.
acting. I think acting, but I love to act because it's like playing.
Right. Me too.
But but
And you
because
built
people have an idea about what they want, not what you want to present.
right, and that's hard when people like yourself who's built a very very unique style of humor. Now, you don't want to fit into their thing. They have to write you into what your thing is. I think makes more sense.
I think that's fair assessment
Mhm.
because I want to say what I want to say when I want to say it. But I would love I would love
Mhm.
to play a real
Mhm.
live
Mhm.
gangster.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, yes.
I would love to. I have never. I mean,
Let's write it together. I'll help you write it. I love writing
I
scripts.
would love to play a gangster that's realistic, but I don't want her to be go around shooting, and I don't want her to die because they always want us to die. In horror movies they always want us to fucking die. Can you die? It's in the script. You die. Yeah. And also, I would love to work with Quentin Tarantino. For some
Oh,
reason, I
I love
don't know why.
I know,
He,
me too. Shame on me, but I
sh-
love. I'm trying to in my head. I've always wanted to write something that he directed in my head
yeah,
because I
and
like the way he directs. It's very unusual.
he's poignant. He's very, and Sam Jackson loves him, so and he's Uncle Sam. So anyway, I'm being honest with you. I love Quentin Tarantino's work.
Hmm.
I would like
There.
to be in a love story.
Oh,
Why can't they always make
now
uh
get the brain going.
a love story and the bitch is the same looking bitch that
Skinny.
is
Look at
skinny and she's
the hair
light
trestles.
complected
The hair trestles back.
and
Oh,
all that
I love you. Got it.
she yes I would love to have a
Ooh. Don't
love
tell them the
story.
idea. Don't tell them the idea.
I'm not gonna tell them the idea. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, cause you know what? But I'm
Oh,
so silly. Cause one time on this episode of Thea, I had to kiss a guy,
uh-huh.
and I start getting the giggles, and I got the giggles with John Amos too, when we was doing Shaquille O'Neal's Sports Theater,
Uh-huh.
and we were supposed to be dancing. And he said, "What are you doing?" I said, I'm sorry. I didn't have the heart to tell him I'm dancing with Kuta Kinte. Oh my God. I just Kissy, you said put. And I just oh my God. Oh my God. I was so
Yeah,
ridiculous.
you're hilarious.
I just oh my God. I could not say that. But when he put his arms around me, that man's body was something. Give me body. Anyway, I mean, I like that's why I like doing wrestling, because wrestling is the you know, men get pick me up and not get backaches and stuff. They was just strong. uh I had a
You're
man pick me up, a big
hilarious.
old man pick me up,
Mhm.
and I just like,
Mhm.
put me down. You're making me feel very feminine right now, and I'm uncomfortable. No, you ever, because sometimes, I don't know if men know this, but if
Mhm.
you make a woman feel feminine,
Mhm.
she'll get uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Oh,
God bless you.
excuse me. Thank you. I had to sneeze. I'm sorry. I had to let it out. No, but no, I'm serious. Men have forgotten to make how to make women feel feminine. That's
Yes.
why we all turn out to be alpha females.
Yes. Yes.
You
Put me
know,
at 5 o'clock.
it's
Here,
women
honey, here you
kings,
go. All right.
the woman king. Did you see that movie?
I love that. You know what? Viola Davis, she actually came. I was in London, and she came to the what do you call the premiere of the
Uh-huh.
of it here, and it was fabulous. It was fabulous.
I,
She was
I,
there. She was there. The panel was there. They came at the panel. They
she was
spoke out.
amazing. It
She's
was an
phenomenal. She's phenomenal. She is. She would. They would have changed the cast to look like something else if it wasn't for her saying, "I'm not doing that. Nope. We want our hair just the way it's supposed to be. Nope. Nope. No." I give her so much credit, and you're one of the people too that will be in the same limelight. In that, sometimes you got to stand your ground. You know what I'm
and
saying?
it's hard. It's hard. Their perception of that. This is what Bill Cosby taught me. They do a drive by of us
Mm,
just to get enough to get a perception. They don't investigate like they
indeed,
should.
indeed.
And I'm gonna tell you, when I saw that movie and I saw the way, oh my God, it was so magnificent.
Mm.
She beat the hell out of him. I just, oh, beat him, beat him, beat him.
Which one
And
was it?
the man that raped her. sh-
Oh, essayed her. They say we can't say that on
Oh, you
YouTube.
can't say, oh,
Allegedly,
essayed her. Is
yes,
that what that means? Essayed her.
yes, and that's
Oh,
because they'll ban the show. They'll stop the show. They'll let you do it, but they won't air it. Something stupid like
oh,
that.
they have euphemisms for stuff now. I am
Everything now.
see you see. Okay,
They said it.
everybody in London. Do you see
Pow
how?
instead of the other one.
Okay,
How
okay.
dumb is that? It's so stupid. It's like you know
Let me
what it.
tell you something. Let me tell you something. Everybody here, I am not social media savvy. I
Right,
don't get little idioms or
right,
euphemisms. Just say what it is.
right. That's how we feel. Right. Well. Hopefully, Trump says we can say what we want now. Let's see how that
Well,
works out for us because it doesn't. I keep getting notices of oh, you broke the road. The robots found that you said such and such word. I'm like, shut up. Who cares? Like, really? But
y-
it's all good.
but you
Um,
know what? They are all so. You know what? This is what I realize.
mhm,
If you keep on setting traps for other people,
mm.
you gonna set one and fall into it. Remember how they brought drugs in our neighborhood?
There it is. Oh, I remember my birth mother was a victim of one and died of it. I know.
Okay.
In
When
60s,
you
yeah.
what the old people say, when you dig a hole for somebody else, dig one for yourself, because you soon to fall in.
Yes. Well, now you see, addiction does not discriminate. Everybody is out there in this.
Okay, I never,
Everybody.
oh my God.
Yeah, everybody.
I mean, people just, I don't even know.
Well, the thing about it is, I mean, I think how could someone be so silly to think that I'm just going to get her, just her by herself? Because everything has a ripple effect. So to me, that someone could easily think evil enough to think like I'm gonna get them or that person or people with red hair, people with blue hair, whatever, is like the dumbest thing because it's a universal law that everything affects everything and everyone in some microcosm way. So if I'm saying I'm gonna put those in this neighborhood, well, that's dumb because guess who comes to the neighborhood on the low? Even in the 50s, they were coming on the low. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, we all got stories of grandpa met grandma and they wasn't supposed to be married and they got married during Jim Crow. You know, we all
Let
got
me tell you something. It's so silly. It's so silly. Uh,
makes no sense.
race. I gotta be honest with you. It's trickled down and turns into a whirlwind. And now you got all these soccer moms. They're the opiate addicts. The people on. I met one on the ship. They just addicts and
Oh no, they're doing
taking pill. Oh, see now when you can get it in a pill, it's
mm-hmm.
not you're not that nasty addict. You know what I'm
That's what they
saying?
think. That's
You
what they
tell
think.
yourself that. You tell yourself that.
Exactly.
But I bet you when the doctor stop writing them scripts, you'll hit the streets.
Yep. I'm telling you, you know, I mean, I've been in the field of addiction. I was in the field of addiction over 16 years, and I would tell you, it's just so mind-boggling and sad to see. Like literally, I got before I could give you a prediction of like, all right, I'm going to go in today, and I know I'm this unit will be this person, and this unit will be that person. I used to be able to make predictions, semi, not always, but semi. Now you walk on a unit, you got somebody from China, you got somebody from Middle East, you got somebody from the hood, you got somebody from the suburb, a lot of somebody's from the suburbs, you got celebrities, you got everybody. You just don't know who it's going to be now. There is no such thing as this is the face of an addict. There's no such thing. And they
It,
keep trying to make us think it is, but it ain't.
it
It's no,
ain't, and we are not who they say we are. Let me
no,
tell you something. I look at it. I ain't seen a coca plant in the hood in ever.
right.
And let me tell you something. Now, liquor store, I got you, but coca plants,
hmm
that's from Colombia, and
Right,
then this trickle down, and it has to come down a big bunch of stuff,
right.
train and on the bus, and then it comes to us,
And
and
pants,
Rufus go pick it up, and
right.
then let me tell you something.
hmm
It it why would you include fentanyl?
Listen, because somebody, let me tell you, I'm telling you, the people who do this type of thing, the type of people, and it's not everybody. So remember, we're talking about people, whether it's black, white, Chinese, I don't care. It's never everybody. We're talking about a specific group. If you don't fit, the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. Don't put it on. Go put the shoe on, and it's a size 5. If it's meant for an 8. So I'm just saying. Um, what was I going to say? Fentanyl. That is something that's pure evil, and I believe being that there was a nurse in one of our local hospitals who was taking the patient's thing when you know how you put them to sleep, they were
Uh-huh.
going in and dipping in that. I guess that's called fentanyl. Whatever puts them out, they were dipping in it, and so the patients would wake up during surgery. Yeah, and so with that microcosm of that story, that was only like 7 years ago. Imagine how fentanyl came about. Someone said, "Yo, yeah, let's go do this at a party just a little bit." Okay, sure. That's how that happened. And then they took it to a whole other level and said, wait, this could go to the streets. Oh, not thinking this could kill people.
Okay, first of all, why would you do a drug that could kill people? Why would you put it in drugs that can kill people? Cocaine, let me tell you something. Um, Two former addicts were
Mhm.
talking about the cocaine in the 90s. Say the cocaine. Now, the cocaine in the 90s, it was good cocaine. I ain't gonna lie to you, it was good cocaine. I'm scared to do cocaine now because they put stuff in it. Now, imagine
Mhm.
two functioning addicts talking about doing cocaine and
Mhm.
the and the decade that cocaine was at its best. I mean that's like arguing about who's the best actor, Homer Simpson or or Barney Rubble. I mean, really, shut up and sit down somewhere.
Ah, that's
Uh,
crazy. It, you know, it's
it's
sad. It has killed. I mean, I personally know at least about 8 people personally, and that's in 3 towns that are close to each other. It's like, and it's one happened to be who was it? A couple. Another one was a 17-year-old. Another one was a 18 or 17, 18-year-old. And what was the other two? They were old, a little bit older, but it's like they thought they were smoking marijuana.
See, why would you mess something up that's so wonderfully pristine? Now, I don't even, just to show you how far it's gone. I had 5 grandchildren living in my house.
Mm,
I I uh I stopped smoking when they came.
right. Good,
Weed.
good for you, Tanya.
But little did I know that I would need weed to deal with them. So anyway,
That's like you have a whole set on the kids.
I'm trying to be, disciplined. I love my grandchildren, and it
Uh-huh.
really, you can't be high and have the baby. It's just not a good idea. So, I look at my, I look at people. I don't even smoke weed like I used to, and and believe me, if you know anybody, they'll tell you Thea would smoke some weed. In fact, when I was on tour one time, that's how comics found me.
Oh no.
They goes, "Do you smell weed?" Yeah. Well, follow it till you get to. It'll lead you to Thea's room, and I hate to say it like that, but it's so true. It's so true. I'm
Well,
just,
I mean, everybody does what they got to do when they're doing whatever. I just think the hard stuff is what we say.
I
Oh my,
know. I mean,
you know,
can't
that's
weed just be weed? Can't
not
be. I mean, really, just.
you
I
want
mean,
it
it's
unless you grow
sad. It's sad when functioning
it.
addicts are discussing the decade that cocaine was at its best.
That-
Really,
That's bad.
why do you want to mess up stuff? I don't see which. I don't even understand what fentanyl. It's a pain
I don't even know
medicine. It
who would
knocks you
even try
out.
it. Like, who would even want
China.
to try that? That's
I
weird.
I
It's like
mean, it's
a
like
suicide wish or off wish. I mean, what is that? I don't
I don't
understand how
I don't
people.
know. It ain't me. I'm just like Cat Williams does a joke about, well, what does this do? Is fentanyl. If you touch it, you'll die. He said black people just walk all around that. No, I want that. I don't want
That's
that.
what he
I
says.
don't
I
want
never heard
that.
that. I never
I
heard that.
I I love Cat Williams. I do. I love Cat Williams. I love a
Oh,
lot of comics. I do.
love
I
Cat.
love watching.
You remember Bernie Mac? Bernie Mac, I loved him. Did you ever
I
work with
love
him?
him because he told you the truth.
Yes. And I didn't appreciate him at first. The first time I ever heard him, I didn't appreciate it like until one day I forgot why. I sat down and said, I'm gonna listen to like 20 things of his. And then I started falling on the floor and I got him. I totally got him. But it took me a minute. And then when he says, she wants some milk and cookies, that was it. That was it. I was done.
This that's the first.
That was
He talking
it.
about his own nephew. Talking about the fag gonna come down here, and I'm just like, oh my god, did you just say that?
Inappropriate, right? He was very, yeah. But he's like him downstairs, downstairs. It's like, what do you want? He wants some milk and cookies. That was
I
hilarious.
said, please
Yeah,
stop it, please stop it.
yeah.
That
Bernie
that
Mac,
I do. I love a good storyteller. I
yes.
love and he's talked about his family, and I understood it,
Mhm.
and I understood because I ended up with my son's children, and my daughter and I was just like. But anyway, it sounds
Right.
so selfish. It
No,
sounds so selfish. Why we
no.
got to have these motherfuckers up in here? No, I mean, I love my grandchildren.
Right, right.
And they love me when I give them money. So there you have it. You just like
Oh,
you should. My
well,
daughter's.
kudos to you because I was a foster kid, and a lot of families don't step up and say, you know what, we ain't letting our grand or whoever is go to the system. That ain't gonna happen today. If more people did that, there would be instead of 530 something thousand, well, probably more than that after all this stuff going on. In foster care, there would be like maybe 100,000 instead of that many because people step. That's what you're supposed to do. That's why you have family.
That's why you have family, and
Never steps up. They
And
messed
my
it up.
daughter said, we're gonna keep them. I go, okay. Uh, all right. I knew I was definitely going to work. I wasn't taking no days off. I'm going to work.
His boss is
I'm
like,
not
"Oh,
lying.
we're gonna have you out to come work."
I'm going to work. I'm going to work. I'm getting on the ship.
Yes, you were.
Okay.
Right. That's great.
And
So how did you get into the cruise ships?
it took me a long time because they nobody thought I was their type. I was
Oh,
not the type. And
what?
then no, people they always got to make things difficult.
Yes.
Okay. And the deal was one
Mhm.
Christmas was coming, and people want to be with their families, and they said, well, do you think Thea will do it? And I said, I will. And I did, and it went pretty good. And
Hmm.
then I had to learn how to do the family show where I
Oh,
don't
Lord, doing
that's
the
where I
family
didn't
show. Woo, hoo, hoo,
where I
hoo.
didn't cuss,
Right.
and it went well.
Okay. You made it
I
through the
just
family show. Woohoo.
well, what the, I talked about my life as a child.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what made it fun when
Okay.
I talked.
You just
Can you see me?
no, you just took your light off.
No. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
You just hit.
Okay, I didn't. Oh, wait, hold on.
It's okay. You just hit your thing. It's all right.
Okay, wait. Put
We got
phone.
like 10 more minutes because we went. Oh, I'm sorry I kept you so long, but I'm just having such a good time that we
No, it's
kept you.
okay. Well, how the hell did I do that?
Up. Wait a minute. Just come back in. There you go. She's gonna come back in, guys. One second. Hi, Joe. So she's gonna come back in. We're here with the lovely Thea Vidale. She's amazing. And yeah, I mean, wow, so much to rap, so much for a comic's life, But she has made history with sitcoms. And oop, there we go.
No,
There
I'm
we
there.
go.
Yeah, I'm
There we go.
sorry.
That's
I
okay. It's okay.
I just got to talking. I just
Oop, I was like, hey.
I didn't even know. Sometimes my nails get in the way.
Oh yes,
Uh
that's
uh
nice.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hmm.
Sometimes you don't want to, and I'm sure because I've been in need of my family and stuff.
Right.
And sometimes you say to yourself, well, what's in it for me if I take a med?
Mm.
Heaven. My daughter is the main one
Right.
that took care of him. I
Mhm.
just financially helped. And let me tell you something. Having five boys in your house,
Five boys? What? Grandma, you are special.
no, I ain't special. I'm fucking crazy.
You are
Mother
special.
mother man, and then it was like we had an infant in the house, a
Oh,
baby.
a
And
baby
I
too.
was like, yeah, and I smoke cigarettes, so because
Oh,
that's healthy. And
right.
the baby's running the house, and because I just love him. I just love EJ, baby EJ, and
Oh,
he's so sweet. He's a cutie pie.
oh, I can imagine.
I love him, and he does all kind of stuff. He
I
used to run
know
all
that's
over.
how old is he? How old is he?
He's four now, but
Oh yeah.
I had him, we had him from since he was a baby, zero,
Wow.
and you know,
Mm.
now everybody's gone, and now I really miss him. And
Oh.
his daddy, he's on shit. It's amazing how people can forget
Mm.
your kindness
Mm. Mm.
and
Mm.
how you took care of their children, their responsibility, bought their school clothes,
Right.
took them to school. EJ's not going to school. I hope he's learning something because
Mm.
he's very smart. He's
Mm.
very smart, baby.
Mm.
I love him. I miss him very much.
Oh.
Well, I'm getting all stupid. So let's move on.
Yeah. No. So, well, I was gonna say, I'll go back to you, which is important here. So, what is the most unexpected thing that you've learned through the entertainment industry since you started your career? Like the one thing that really helped you or changed you?
Uh, that people are barracudas, and
Mm,
they're like little devils, and they are seeking who they may destroy, and
mm,
they'll do anything to step over you and get to where they want to be, and you have to decide whether you're that
mm,
or you're going to be who you are.
mm. Is that one of the reason why the cruise ships and the colleges, because the college is also a good look too. Is that why a lot of comics opt in for just that and then doing the shows around, the clubs, rather than becoming the big, whatever. Well, I won't say that. Then becoming, I won't. I don't want to say no names. So then becoming.
I ain't scared.
Oh no, not
Uh,
that. Just 'cause I don't like to throw shade on anybody, or people think I'm throwing shade. But I was trying to say, uh, a lot. I know a lot of comics who took the cruise ship versus they could have been in the headlights everywhere, all over everywhere, but they chose not to do the activities and extra activities that need to be done to do all that stuff.
yeah,
So,
because uh, I like colleges.
hmm.
Um,
Good
I
gig.
I just huh?
That's a
It's
good
a
gig.
gig,
They just got
and
$10,000 for 1 hour. I was like,
uh,
whoa.
you ain't even gotta. They're they're interesting.
Mm, mm,
Um, if I could build a big following in college, like Rodney Dangerfield,
mhm. Oh.
I would do that very
Mm,
much,
mhm.
and I would love to do that because young people, you could tell them anything.
Yes.
They're not stupid. Young people not stupid. They do stupid things, but they're not
Yeah.
stupid.
Nope. They're my favorite audience, actually.
I like college kids because when
Yeah.
they see like grandma smokes weed, it's like uh uh it's funny. I mean, really, I hate to say this. This is a true story. I'm smoking some weed with my brother, and my daughter comes and she knocks on the door and she says, I say, come in. She says, Mom, uh, is this your first joint? And I said, yeah. She said, well, I'll come back when you had your second. Because see, because she feels like I'm more pliable.
Oh no, she was.
She was a teenager. I'll come back when you're more pliable. And you be open to my thinking. And that's children. That's what children do. And I think some people will say, well, that's not funny. I think it's funny because
Hilarious. I mean, people have to be in context and stop taking everything out. You're a comedian, so you're going to say things that are not well, I'm a comedian too, but what other people would say. So don't, if it's not funny, don't laugh and just shut up. That's it.
yeah, shut up. And it's my children are I should have had my children on my show
Mm.
because they're funny.
But
All of them
listen,
are funny.
write one for you. Yeah,
Well, okay.
but we'll just won't use that name because it's intellectual property, whatever they got going on. We'll just figure it out something else. That's not hard to do. I mean, you know what I'm
Because
saying? Like,
I'm gonna tell you something. My children were funny. My children, when they were that age, in their teenage 13, 12, 4, they were hilarious. And they would do stuff and I would just go, you know, you really, really actually believe that you're smarter than me. So let's let this play out and see what happens next.
mm,
And I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it. I can look back on it and go, yeah, at that moment when Mike Magdalene took my car in the hood, my brand new truck in the hood, I didn't like that. Okay. But I can look back on it now and go, that was funny that she thought she could do that and get away with it. She didn't even have enough sense to get the hell out of there. When I called her, she was, huh? She, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know, girl children, they just evil.
We just,
It is when you have girl children, it is the battle.
yeah, my mom used
It
to say,
is the battle.
you gotta be so difficult. I said, 'cause I'm a girl.
It's like, uh-uh.
Just my girl card. That's it. So speaking of boundaries, comedy often involves pushing boundaries. How did you decide like when to take the risk in your material and when to hold back? Because that's a big thing right now, especially. Like, some people saying the N word, some people saying certain words now are code words for like, oh, cancel. It's like, Jesus, like as long as you're not
Okay.
insulting someone, like,
It's like, okay, so I say, because I've had to watch myself.
mhm,
What you do is you just say, what can I do to change this around where I can still say what I want to say,
mhm.
but I just don't say that.
Right. Okay.
Or I can innuendo enough where everybody get what I said.
Okay. Mhm. So be
For
clever about
me, you have to be clever about it because these people. You let me just say this: when people start telling you about what you can and cannot say,
it. Mhm.
um, that's how communism started.
Mm,
You know what
mm,
they started doing when the communists were coming into power? They
mm,
would kill all the professors, all the educated people. They had to die. You know
mm.
why? Because they can't have people shedding light on stuff.
Right. Mm.
And and they're serious. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear my bag?
Is that what I hear? I heard something. I was like, oh, maybe it's the mouse in
Girl,
my
I want a
computer.
cookie so bad my teeth hurt. Anyway, because I haven't eaten.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we're
And
gonna get
so
you on.
what?
I promise.
Um, let me tell you something. When you start trying to silence people,
Mm-hmm.
and okay, there's certain stuff that shouldn't be said. Okay,
Right,
let's all agree on that.
right,
But there's certain stuff that needs to be said.
right,
There's certain stuff that needs to be said.
right. And you have to be able to decipher the difference.
And so when they say you can't say this, this, and this, I say okay, but when the truth cannot be told,
Mm,
a country falls in peril.
mm,
I
mm.
re I re refer you to Rome. Rome fell from within,
Yep, sure did.
and I think we have Julius Caesar,
Mm,
and Elon Musk is his Brutus.
wow. Elon. Mm,
I don't even
Elon.
know what the fuck. I don't even know what Elon is.
First of all, can I tell you when they said they were going to they were going to oppose a tax on single parents? I was like, well, so he's going to be the first to get taxed, I hope, because he got 12 kids and like 4 or 5 baby mamas. Let's go. And
Elon Musk does.
yes, he got 12 kids by 4 or 5 different women, and he got custody of one. And I heard it was not very nice what he did, but that's another story. I don't know the truth. There's 4 sides to every story, so I didn't get his child, so technically I don't know. But it's just to me, any man that could take their child away from the mother, unless she's an addict or something like that, or having men around something crazy, I just think that's cruel. That shows you what a narcissist someone can really be. There's no reason to take a child from his mother unless like if it was a boy who's like 13 or 12, maybe he's better off with dad because
But
dad can
that
give
little
him.
boy, he's a little boy. I
Well, I'm
saw
not
him
sure.
carrying a child.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the one. I think it is, but I don't know if that's the one. I know one of his boys was taken from the mother, and I heard it wasn't pretty. So I was like, wow, that's because he had more money. He got the kid. And I was like, wow. So I don't know how true all of it is, but I know that part that he does have custody of one of them. And the rest, I heard the rest live with him. And I said, because he wants to control. He's a narcissist. That's what they do. They want to make sure they know everything you're
Uh,
doing.
UK, that's two narcissists
Oh yeah, they're all with all
together.
the White House are. You can. There's a bunch of. I don't know how they get along with all the
Between
narcissists.
the sycophants and the two narcissists, that's an orgy in itself.
Yeah, they're. I don't know how that cabinet even worked. I'd love to be sitting a fly on the wall in a meeting and hearing like, "What you think that? No, it's well, I'm going to do this. Well, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this because I'm bigger than you." Like, no.
I don't get it. And
He fired somebody already?
he fired the black four-star
Okay.
general.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, why?
Well,
He has
because
nobody black in his cabinet. None of them.
he doesn't want anybody black, and he won't. He won't do that unless it's like a miracle. He won't do it. He only did it before with Amarosa. I think. Well, who was it?
Well,
He had.
Omarosa outsmarted that motherfucker too. She said she got him good. The way so you threw her out of the White House. Okay, cool, cool. She said cool. They wouldn't even let her talk to him. And now this is a woman that's been hanging around him for a long time. And
Mhm.
so do you think
Mm.
that she been bugging, she had been recording all the shit that went on. Oh man, please. I said,
That's
if
why they
you
don't
think,
talk. Yeah.
I said, and then I
I
said,
don't have
well,
anything to do with you. I don't have nothing to do with you. I have nothing to say to you anymore. It's
oh,
like,
who gives a fuck? I
yeah, yeah.
got you on recording. And I mean, and she said, and there are more tapes. And I said, oh,
Ooh, I didn't
that's
know
it.
that. I have to go back
Yeah,
and dig
she
that.
said, and there's more tapes.
Oh, Amarosa
Like,
just
if so,
did
you
it. She
got
did
any
it. She
ideas
did it.
about some shit? Let
Yeah,
me tell you.
yeah,
Anything happen to me, boo boo?
yeah.
Everybody gonna know who you are.
Oops, that's it.
But
That's what you have to do sometimes. As
eh,
Kendrick Lamar said, sometimes you got to pop out on people. But sometimes you gotta pop out. That's my favorite line. Sometimes you got to pop out. I say, yeah, you do got to sometimes be like, this is not my normal character, but today it is. It is.
today, wait a minute. He says, "I hate." What? How does he say? I hate Drake like a child, or how
Like
does that go?
I forgot the line, but it's everything on that is
Uh,
like, whoa.
Drake. If I was Drake, I'd just be quiet. I would just
Nobody
melt.
knows how to do that anymore. They want to be big and up, but he has no choice but to be quiet. What is he going to say? What can he possibly? There's nothing to say after that. There is drop the mic, sit down, and shut up until it's time to make your next record and keep it
And
moving.
when he turned off the TV, I just said, "I'm through."
Yes,
I'm sorry, Kendrick.
Kendrick is amazing. It was a great performance, I must say. And I know some people say, "Oh, it wasn't so great." It was. I said, "But that's to you because you don't get it." And all kinds of people have said it. So not just other people, but all kinds of people have said that. But that's just their thing, and they're outnumbered because only a few said it that they didn't enjoy.
When
Enjoy.
Serena came out there and crip walk, that was the shit right there.
Yes, yes. Only
You know what?
because
I didn't know how
it
great
says that.
it was.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know how great the performance was till I finally had a chance to sit down and see it. And I
Hmm.
said, he's telling you something.
Yeah. Boom. There it is.
And
Well, the
you're not
problem is.
listening.
Yeah, but I pray for him. I pray for him that he'll be around because I believe someone's building up a whole package of a legacy to let them down. I'll just say because it's a whole pattern. I'm seeing a whole pattern of things now, and I'm saying, wait a minute, it's all about the catalog and the royalties. All
Yeah,
about
it's
that's
always been about that.
well, no, now well, yes, it has always been about that, but now we see the pattern. Like we can prove the pattern. Let's look at 1954. Look at 1960. Let's go to 70s, 80s, 90s, and you're like, wait a minute. So wait a minute. So let's go back and look at all these people that all of a sudden dropped dead off. Excuse me, whatever the word I'm supposed to use. Off all of a sudden. What happened? I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but you get what I'm saying. That I pray for him.
Yeah.
I really pray for him because he now is number one in a lot of areas and that makes that makes your sales go up. And I'm really worried about. I just pray I know he's a very smart man, I just pray that God
I
protects.
pray that but this is my thing. He is he's saying something to his people and to the people, and he's like, we are more divided than we ever were. And when you have division, divide and conquer is the oldest game in the book.
That's right.
And let me tell you something, those people in that White House over there, they
Mhm.
don't think that they can get overthrown. They don't think that, you know what? I'll tell you one thing.
Mhm.
You know, Marie Antoinette and King Henry,
Mhm.
they didn't think the French would do, the people in Paris would do nothing either. But
Mm,
there they were in the
mm,
little thing going to the guillotine.
mm,
Let them eat cake. You if say that shit if you want to. You don't
mm.
give a fuck. If you don't give a fuck,
Right,
cool. If that's
right,
how you feel, but
right.
it's more poor people and disenfranchised people
Yep.
than there are of you.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
this shit could go either way. Either way. And this is so funny because he actually thinks he can manipulate China. China is
Oh, who?
older than the United States.
I'm confused on all that. Because they're like, oh, he's in bed with Russia. I was like, wait a minute, but Russia is helping Troy, whatever, some parts of Africa now. So I'm like, are they doing double duty here? What's going on? Because that means that Russia ain't really with it. If he's with Trump, that means because Trump said, oh, wait till I do what I'm going to do to Africa. He already said what he going. He ain't having no shorts. So now I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, he wants to take over the world. That's his whole thing. But Putin,
Disgusting.
he wants to take over the world, and it's going to be a battle. I would wait for the children to start fighting over their toys, because
Yes.
you know what? I
Mm,
want Africa to wake up,
mm, mm, mm.
but I want Black America to wake up, because it's only when we wake up, everywhere else will wake.
Well, I think we're waking up because we have no choice. There is no sleeping right now. There is no sleeping allowed. Period. And that's for anybody who's got any kind of sense. If you sleeping, good luck. You're gonna wake up like Rip Van Winkle and be like a whole nother world. You'll be like, if you're lucky to wake up, I take that back. A lot of people ain't waking up. Trust me. A lot of and I really believe we're in Revelations right now. And I hate to say that, but I feel that we are really in real time Revelations. Whoever wrote it was a great psychic thought, or whatever you want to call it.
Isaiah,
Yeah. So
I
whoever
think
wrote it,
Isaiah wrote it.
yeah, they had a good premonition of what's going on, because I see things in there now. I'm like, wow, that's actually happening. And for some people, that was their end. People in the floods, people in the fires, that was their end. They didn't expect that. They didn't expect that. And there's still some of us still left, but I believe it'll come down to about 250,000 people when it's all said and done.
Well, you know what? I look at it like this. It's like it takes a brave person to stop the bullshit.
Hmm.
That's it. It takes a brave person to say, this is as far as I'm willing to go. You're going too far, and you're going too far.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Africa is not your country. You don't own Africa, and you
Well,
need to take your ass on.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you know what? You're not the first person to think they can colonize Africa. You
Right. Right.
know, in
Right.
India and all these other countries. You know, countries of color. What you ever see what is it, the Lion in the Darkness? That movie with Michael Douglas.
Oh, it's been years.
Oh, there's a part in there where one of the Indians say, "And because you're white, you think you know everything.
Hmm.
You don't know these lions. This is something that we haven't seen before." And the
Hmm.
lions were killing for the sake of killing, not for hunger.
Oh
And
wait, I
I
think I saw
always
that.
remember the Lion in the Darkness, or Darkness and
Oh,
something.
I saw that, and they went on a safari and they got stuck.
They were trying to build a bridge,
Okay.
and these lions were just like grabbing people, and they were
Yes,
killing them. They
it
weren't
was.
even eating them. They were just killing them.
The Leftovers was the daughter and the father. Was it Idris Elba? No, not Idris Elba.
No,
That's the wrong.
Idris Elba wasn't in that.
That's the wrong movie. Wrong movie. Wrong movie. There was one about lions that killed people, so that's why I thought it was that. It's not.
Oh no, there that movie I haven't seen, but I want to.
It's good. It was good, but I
But
thought. Sorry. Yeah.
but
Wow.
child, let me tell you something. It's scary. This is a very scary time,
Mm-hmm.
and I wonder, this first time in my lifetime that we don't have a black leader. We don't
Mm-hmm.
have someone that speaks for us.
In any form. Nope. We sure don't. Because all the
We
other
don't.
ones are taking the funk. They fight the funk.
Everybody has picked their poison
Mhm.
and took their 30 pieces of silver.
Yep, that's exactly it. Well, that's why it's important for individuals, and I believe this is our time to be spiritually and mentally woke, whoever that is. It doesn't matter who you are, and that's because you're going to definitely miss the bus on this one. Before it's like, oh, the bus came. Okay, you got to wait 10 years and it'll be back. It ain't coming back this time. So you done. If you're sleeping, anybody, that's any person at all. If you are sleeping, good luck. Have a good night's sleep because may not wake up. It's just not going to happen. It's
I don't
you
know. I don't know. I just feel like somebody's.
between just yeah between what's going on in Israel and what's going on in Congo and what's going on here. I mean, we're just done. I'm done. I know I'm mentally done. I'm done. So I just pray. I'd stay prayed up is what I do.
I'm starting to get back in the word. Because I think that everybody is really nutsy cuckoo,
Yes.
and really, I don't understand, why does everybody have to have everybody else's shit? Why do you need the
Yep.
minerals
Being busy.
from the Ukraine? We have minerals in this country.
A lot. That California, go 3,000 feet under, you got oil. I mean, I don't know what the problem.
Okay,
Money
what
owns
is
oil
your why do you have to take from someone else?
because they
Okay,
just want to have it all. Some people want to have it all. That's the problem.
it's
It's
not
called
yours. It's
narcissism.
not yours. I fired an agent because he said some foul shit. I
Mm,
said the oil doesn't belong to us. He
mm.
goes, well, fuck them. Just take it from them. I go,
Yep.
you know what? I'm not even with that. You
Nope.
gonna have to get from around here.
Good. Good for
And I
you.
fired him. That was years ago, though.
Good for you, because that's dangerous. That's the kind of person you do not want, because they're gonna have you. Oh, I'll just take their royalty. No. Mm-mm, no.
I'll
Mm-mm.
just, that's how people get hurt.
Hello, you said it. That's exactly
That's how
how.
people get hurt.
Mm-mm.
Anyway,
No,
we've been talking for 2 hours.
I know we're gonna get off because I know it's been a long time, but I had so many more questions for you. But that's okay. We'll be have you back another time. It's no
And
problem.
I hope I answered enough.
You did. I just want one more question to you.
What is it?
Let me see. As a trailblazer, creating our own opportunities. Well, what's next for Thea? Let's go because I kept it's been way too long. What's next for you? Is there anything that coming up that you're doing? Or are you on any ships
I'm
that you got
going
any over?
on the 7th. I'm getting on the Conquest
Oh, on the 7th of
of
April.
March.
Oh, March. Oh, well, listen, I'm already thinking we already here. March 7th, the Conquest. Conquest. That's where's it going to?
I think it's going to Mexico and
Oh.
Roatan, and
Mhm.
that's all I know right now. I
Okay.
think that's it.
Is that
But
fun? Travel so much, or is
sometimes,
it like
yes.
work?
Sometimes it is, but my knees being what they are,
Mhm.
I still manage. I
Mhm.
still manage.
Right.
I'm cool.
Mm, mm. Well,
So I'm doing it.
you're doing it. You're doing it. Well, we'll talk behind the scenes later. But I definitely would love to see you in another sitcom. I'd love to see you even in a romance. I'd love to see it all. I'm here for all of it. And Quentin Tarantino directing. Let's go.
So
Go. I'm all for it. Let's go. All you need is some good writers, and there's tons out here that would do it to do the job because that's how much faith they have. And we want to. I know I want to see you win. I want to give you flowers while you're here. I ain't trying to give it to
thank
you.
you.
Yeah, no, definitely not trying to
Thank
get
you.
low. You made history. You set the pavement for you set the way for just women in general in sitcom. I know Roseanne Barr and a couple other people had their own show, Tracy Ullman, but I think of you first when I think of like who that looks like me had one. And that's big. People don't understand how big that is for us, for me to be inspired, to say, maybe it could happen. Maybe I don't have to be, size 2 and do this or have blonde hair or have whatever the stereotypes are for sitcom look, whatever. I don't have to have that. If I'm funny enough, if I'm good enough, I can, things can happen because God can make anything happen, I believe.
I
Anything.
believe that there's a
Anything.
miracle waiting for you.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you. I'm so happy I met you, and I promise. Anytime you have something coming, let me know. I'll be the first one to spread it wide. And if we'll talk behind the scenes. How about that? Because I have some
Okay.
good words for you, and I have to send you the song I told you about earlier. So I will be sending it to you. Okay.
Okay.
And
Thank you
guys,
for having me, Tanya.
oh
Thank
no,
you.
anytime. You are always welcome. Anytime you got something, you know.
Babbling Brook me.
Listen,
I'm
I know we put this
everywhere.
together, but still, I think you answered everything I was going to ask in another way. You hit whatever I was going to ask, so we didn't lose much, and I still appreciate you. Sometimes you gotta go with the flow. You can't go by what's scripted and what's. Sometimes you just got to go with the energy, and the energy is like, what do we want to talk about? This is what we're talking about. This is how we're going. You answered the most important things, because people, other comics that are out here don't know. I'm sure they got a couple of jewels. I'm sure of it. So I appreciate you, my love,
Thank you.
and we will be talking to you soon. Hang out for me 1 minute while I say goodbye to everybody. All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you guys for watching. I see you, Carolyn. I see you guys all out there. Remember, we are comics, and sometimes we say things maybe not the conventional way, but you know what? At the end of the day, we love to make everybody laugh because it gives us great for our ego. Okay, just don't forget that. All right, and you guys, somebody's saying something. Who's this? Hey Joe, what's up? I see you, Carolyn and Grandma. I see everybody there. I see you all, Anthony. Thank you for tuning in. And some of your fans I see out there. I can't see who they are on YouTube. Sorry, but we appreciate you. And make sure you come back next Sunday. I'll be here. All right. All righty.